Coming up on this week's edition of the Tiger Football Report, we will be joined once again by the Tigers head coach Rob Ambrose as we discuss the Tigers' loss to West Virginia. Later, we'll talk with Coach Ambrose about what the Tigers need to do in order to pick up their first win when they take on Delaware State on Saturday. Another episode of the Tiger Football Report begins right now. Hello Tiger fans, and welcome back to another edition of the Tiger Football Report. I'm Spiro Marikas. Last week the Tigers hit the road for the first time this year and traveled into the hostile environment that is Morgantown, West Virginia. The game did not go the Tigers' way as they were handed a 54-0 loss at the hands of the Mountaineers. The loss snapped Towson's 12-game road win streak dating back to 2012. With that being said, let's now bring in the leader of the Tigers, Coach Ambrose. And Coach, this obviously is a very good West Virginia football team.
Ask Alabama about that. No, much improved. And the conversation with Coach Holgorsen before the game, we had a long talk about what they were last year and what we were last year, and his desire and gladness to not play us last year. And I said that I would have enjoyed playing them last year, but that much improved. He knows it. Everybody knows it. The Big 12's got something to worry about. They are up and running, and they're going to challenge for the title in that conference, no question. Offensively,
they came right out. They won 13 plays, 68 yards on the first drive, and you could just sense the trick at the quarterback. After watching him last year and this year, the offense really slowed down for him, and he was really in control.
If you go back and you watch the plays that they ran and dissect them, they really didn't run a lot of plays, and what they did run, he ran to perfection. One of the most efficient passing outages I've ever seen out of a Division I quarterback. And he's got some talented, skilled people to throw the ball to. He's got 2 draft picks at wideout already. So watching his progression, from a semi-fan standpoint after the game, I'm going to enjoy watching West Virginia. And I'm rooting for them for the rest of the year.
As the game is progressing and you see what's happening, what is your feeling on the sideline? What are you looking for? Are you just looking for your team to improve during the game? What is it that you're looking for when it becomes obvious you're not going to win?
Looking for them never to quit, always to fight, and there's always a chance. And we discuss this in meeting rooms, we mentor it during practice, and we live it during the games. That we're going to do everything we can to put them in the best position to be successful no matter who we're playing, and we're never, ever going to quit. We only stop playing football when they say, we can't play anymore. And it doesn't matter who we got out there. We expect the best out of everybody. And going back and look at the film, it was amazing to see how many guys were straining, even against matchups that were strenuous. Let's call a spade, that they had us beat at some positions, a lot of positions, and our guys were still fighting their butts off. And for that, that's a sign for the future that we can build on.
We'll get into some of the individual players that really had great performances last week in the next segment, but some guys that maybe wish they could have performed better. Connor Frazier through his first 2 games. As you look at Connor, and again, he had never started a college football game. Last week was 2 weeks ago was the first time. What do you see from Connor after 2 games?
Oh, I see what I've seen in Connor in the past. A competitor, somebody that works really hard, and right now he's kind of frustrated. It's not Connor. It is the entire offense. It takes 11 guys on offense for a play to work, and right now we're at about a 10% clip. If we ran 100 plays, one guy's screwing up every time, and we got to get to the point where that's a lesser number, a much lesser number. And it's tough to control the reins when you're in that kind of situation, but the expectations are high, and he knows it, and a little bit the frustration gets to him, and a couple of those decisions were based out of frustration, not out of progression, and something that experience will teach, and he learned from it, and he's had a pretty good week of practice so far.
How about the offensive line through the first 2 weeks?
A little bit to what I expected. That we've had some injuries, and we've had to rotate guys, and that's really difficult. We finally sat down and said, look, come heck or high water, that we are going to stick with this group of guys, and we might rotate one guy at this position, but outside of injury, this is what we're going to do to create some continuity in the front 5. And that's part of the problem, that we haven't had any. either between injury or lack of production, that we've had to pull guys out. And when you're playing 5 different puzzle pieces all the time, it's really hard to have a congruent, functional, moving group that is supposed to be the point of our offense. So the lineup will be a little bit different this week, and we're going to roll with it.
You had said before the season started that you were going to need all 4 non-conference games to get ready for the CAA. Now, some people may panic after an 0-2 start, but at this point, you're still growing, and I mean, you've got your eye on the ultimate goal, which is to be a CAA champion.
Oh, right now, I got my eye on a goal to win the next play, period. And that's part of what this has been, to get back to the basics of it, to stop looking at, what it takes to win, have an undefeated season, to keep, road games on the streak. And no, just go win the next play. Win the next play as a group, win and play as hard as you can play, as smart as you can play. And if we do that, that's how we built this to begin with. So we just need to stay the course and keep on building.
Maybe time to bring back the old slogan, 6 seconds?
It's been said nonstop for the last 2 weeks.
Okay. I'll tell you what also was said last week was I said to you, Coach, you're a little conservative there in the Central Connecticut game. Well, Mr. Conservative went away in Morgantown. You tried a fake punt at your own 44-yard line. Was that something that you had seen in the film and said at some point on Saturday we're going to use it?
Yeah. In their punt rush, they had a thing where they would only have 2 guys go after the punter on a 3-man shield. And if they did that, they didn't even rush very hard, and the rest of the guys turned and ran. And all we had to do was make 2 really pretty easy blocks, and we figured we could run untouched for 10 to 12 yards before we even had to make a move. And one of the guys missed a block. They gave us the perfect setup for it. And to be honest, after watching their offense, I figured we were going to be a little overmatched, and we were going to have a spark, something exciting, something big, and we're going to have to get turnovers to have a chance to win. And there's no reason to be conservative. Let's go try to win it.
Unfortunately, it didn't work for the Tigers, but they will be back in action this Saturday and ready to go again. And I'm sure Coach Ambrose will have some other tricks up his sleeve. When we come back on the Tiger Football Report, we'll discuss a few individual performances from the West Virginia game, and later we'll preview the Tigers' next opponent, the Hornets of Delaware State. The Tigers Football Report will return right after this.
Virtual Wallet can help you be that person who's good with money. See what's free to spend, move money with a slide, save with a shake. Feel good about your decisions.
Brian Vickers, Aaron's sponsored driver. He doesn't just love racing, he lives it.
He got the paper! Woo!
His pit crew follows him everywhere. Oddly, so does his boss.
Right, sign that.
And his passion for racing is rivaled only by his passion for errands.
No credit needed. I'll take it.
Woo!
Congrats.
Aaron's makes owning easy through lease ownership, so you can own the life you want.
You'll find it on the sidewalks of Little Italy and on the porches in Catonsville. You can see it when friends meet in Mount Vernon. It's pride. Pride in our city, pride in our people. That's why MedStar Health is building the most accessible healthcare system in the region to look after everyone from Lutherville to Locust Point. So no matter where you go, no matter who you are, you're never far from MedStar.
White Market's ice cream plant is based in Sunbury, Pennsylvania, and it's locally owned and operated. We've been making our ice cream for nearly 50 years. We create roughly 70 flavors of ice cream right now. We use local ingredients, especially our cream, which is from our milk plant. The cream is what gives our ice cream a rich and creamy texture. Now, together with our customers, we've created a product called Peanut Butter Indulgence, which will be coming out this summer. It's a peanut butter ice cream with sea salt caramel swirl, chocolate-covered pretzel. How can you go wrong with that? Personally, I love our ice cream. You come to our house at any given time, you'll find at least 5 packets of ice cream in our freezer. Our kids grew up eating Wise quality ice cream, and now we get to treat our grandchildren to it. It's been a pleasure for me to be tasting ice cream for over 40 years to Wise Markets, and I'm loving every minute of it.
Welcome back to the Tiger Football Report. I'm Spiro Marikas, joined by the head coach of the Tigers, Rob Ambrose, and Coach, obviously. There weren't many bright spots from the game against West Virginia, but a couple of guys on defense did stand out. First, Ryan Dallaire, a senior defensive lineman, just played a tremendous game. He made a great tackle on a 3rd down and goal, stopping West Virginia from getting into the end zone, making them forced to kick a field goal, and then also had a sack later on in the ballgame. Talk about Ryan a little bit.
Sack and a strip for a fumble. I mean, watch when a Big 12 team is double and triple teaming one of your players, he's earned respect. And they were worried about him from the very beginning. What I'm really liking about Ryan is everyone knows how good he is. Everybody is game planning for him. He's one of the few defensive linemen that offenses will game plan for all year long. And he's still finding a way to, 1, make plays, and 2, not get frustrated with the fact that he's getting double and triple teamed. He's still going hard. Some guys go, oh, you know, I'm getting double teamed. I'm not going to go as hard. Let somebody else make the play. He's still trying. High energy, high motor, Energizer Bunny, and playing for 4 quarters, which is not something he did a year ago. He would play well in spurts, but very, very impressed with his effort.
What do you think the difference has been with him? Do you think just a spark went on? Hey, this is my last year. I got to give it my all. Sometimes guys realize this is it.
Well, he's a really intelligent kid. I mean, well over 3.0 GPA. He's into his internship right now, and he has lots of professional opportunities in the real world. But I had 3 scouts here at practice today, and one of the guys that they're looking at is him, and they know it too. We had a conversation after the season about what it would take for him to achieve some more playing time at the next level. And I told him, you know, there's lots of guys that are big and strong and can run or fast, but if you're not playing every play as hard as you can play, you're not going to have a chance. And he's really taking it to heart, and that's how he practices. You know, we end practice, and he stays out and does work on his own for another 10, 15 minutes every day. He's in the cold tub every day, taking care of his body, which is what the guys that make it do. It means that much to him. So he stays on this path. He might have a chance to play at the next level.
Another defensive player who had a great game, and I know you talked about him extensively in your post-game press conference, Donnell Lewis had a tremendous game, 15 tackles in the ball game. I mean, this kid is not big in stature, but he makes his presence known out there on the field.
It's only, you sure it's only 15? I would challenge the stat makers that I think he's still making tackles in that game. And unassisted open field against All-American type tackles. He's earned the respect of the players in the locker room, the coaches, the guys at West Virginia, and anybody that watches our film from here on out, that whatever his measurables are in height and weight, with his heart and brain, he's at least 4 inches taller and 30 pounds heavier, and he's really, really fast. He loves playing, he loves hitting, he loves his defense, and he loves his team. If we'd have played 9 quarters and got beat 100-0, he'd still be out tackling people. He loves it so much. I got a little love there.
Another one of his secondary mates playing in his first game, Chris Carpenter, missed the game against Central Connecticut State. Assess his performance on Saturday.
Average compared to his potential. Some of the rust was clearly still on, and I thought that Christian thought that he had the speed, agility, and experience to just go out there and do his own thing, and he realized that technique and the tightening up of the little things were really key when you're playing high-end competition. And there were times when he was out of position, times when he missed tackles that are clearly in his ability to make. And I think defensively, of all the guys in the starting 11, he'll make the greatest stride this week based on what he didn't do last week.
When you go back and you look, the Central Connecticut game, you said that, you know, this was one that we had to look ourselves in the mirror about. Mm-hmm. Then you look at the West Virginia game. You can't really say look in the mirror in that one because this was a team that outmanned you, bottom line. They're going to be a top 25 team in the country. What do you take away from that game as opposed to what you take away from the Central Connecticut game?
Well, probably took more away from this game just in effort, in challenging these guys to play as hard as they could play no matter who they were playing against. And that's a hard thing for a young man to do, to know that you're a little bit outmatched and still give it your all. As you say, perfection's unattainable, but the pursuit of perfection's not optional, which in theory is insanity. But it's in the chasing of the perfection, no matter the circumstance, that you earn the respect from yourself and your teammates. And that relentlessness is something that you need if you're going to be a championship football team. And we got a lot of young guys that grew up in the everybody gets a trophy generation that were chipping away at that mold, that you really got to earn your respect. It's not just about showing up, it's what you do to earn it. And going, you know, I was frustrated after the game because I don't like believing we're outmatched. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. And I believe that if we play as 11 and we'll find a way, and you know, we're just not there yet. But going back and looking at the film and watching the number of guys that were laying out and giving everything within their bodies to compete, yeah, I feel good about that.
What about practice this week? What do you say to the team during the week about the fact that obviously the Delaware State game is very key, but this is a team that came in ranked in the top 10 nationally, coming off the greatest year in Towson football history. And we talked about this before the first game. A lot of these guys were part of a championship team that really didn't play a whole lot during the games. So yes, they were part of the team, helped them practice everything else, but they weren't really a part of what was going on the field at the time. How do you, or do you think the message has been heard that yes, you guys got to improve?
Oh, well, I know the message has been loud, and it's been backed up. You know, I told them flat out, I said the national rankings are gone. The rings are last year's rings. The T-shirts are last year's T-shirts. And everything you get, is I've been teaching forever, is what you earn. And you have to do it day after day after day. You have to try to achieve the best you can achieve at whatever it is you're doing. That's the lesson. So we want this lesson to carry way past football into their personal lives, into their professional lives, with their wives, with their jobs. And this is one of those things that young guys tend not to hold on to immediately, but they build towards. I just got a text message from DJ Sovin telling me, he goes, Coach, I can't thank you enough for the number of times you made me stand up and talk in public when I was uncomfortable. He goes, now when I talk in front of my business peers, I've already got 2 raises because I'm well ahead in public speaking. So it's the lessons that we teach in football is the tool. But when it comes to trying to get better, yes, all the glitz and glamour and all the people that are telling you how great you are, yeah, they're not around anymore. All the fair weather fans are now telling you how bad you are and you're terrible and whatever, and that's fine. You just keep building on your work ethic, doing it right over and over again, and you can build something special like we always have.
And hopefully something special will start this Saturday. On the other side of the break, we will dive into the matchup with the Delaware State Hornets, where the Tigers will look to start a new road win streak. But before we go, let's take a look at this week's Tiger Tidbit presented by Under Armour. Did you know Towson has won 3 games in a row against teams currently in the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference, the MEAC? The Tigers are 35-14 all-time against the MEAC.
So what you got on deck?
Skyfall, Lean In, then some Pinterest. You?
Twitter, Minecraft, and then some Hunger Games. Boom.
Oh, you guys are all set, huh?
Oh, yeah. New Amazon Fire Phone.
It comes with Amazon Prime. Tons of cool stuff for no extra charge.
Really? It comes with Amazon Prime?
Yeah, there's so much to watch.
I've been on this earth 9 years. I've never seen anything like it.
The new Amazon Fire Phone with a full year of Prime included, exclusively on AT&T.
Mariner Finance is a consumer finance company, so we offer personal loans.
Mariner Finance is a great place to work. It's a great thing for anyone with the entrepreneurial spirit.
Everybody in every office has an opportunity to achieve and grow.
Be your own leader. Be a leader amongst the fellow coworkers in your office.
The training and development that we do at Mariner Finance is one-on-one. Someone who has been there, done it, experienced it.
There is no better feeling.
Learn with us.
Grow with us.
Run with us.
Brian Vickers, Aaron's sponsored driver. He doesn't just love racing, he lives it.
We got the paper! Woo!
His pit crew follows him everywhere. Oddly, so does his boss.
Red, sign that, sign that.
And his passion for racing is rivaled only by his passion for errands.
No credit needed. I'll take it.
Woo! Woo!
Congrats.
Aaron's makes owning easy through lease ownership, so you can own the life you want.
This is where the legends live, waiting for someone with better innovation. From the brand that reinvented the t-shirt comes the Under Armour Speedform Apollo. This is our rocket ship.
Welcome back to the Tiger Football Report. I'm Spiro Marikas alongside the head coach of the Tigers, Rob Ambrose. And Coach, the West Virginia game is finally behind you, and now you guys get ready to take on Delaware State, who you also played in Week 3 last year and beat by a score of 49-7. Now we know this year is not last year. You're looking for your first win on Saturday. The Hornets are also looking for their first win. They're 0-2. Does it scare you a little bit that they're also coming in hungry for a victory?
No. It's this. This really is not about them. I don't want to sound redundant, repeating myself, but for where we've been, what we've done, and what we haven't done, this is really about us. And I'm not even looking at it as a game. I'm looking at it as the next play. We need to win the next play. Everything we got for 6 seconds, all we got, body, heart, and soul. We do that, and we do that over and over again. We will get right back on the track of what we've been doing. But that needs to be the foundation of what we do moving forward. 11 guys, 6 seconds, all you got.
Last week they played a CAA foe in Delaware, a game that was postponed by a day. So they had to play on Sunday as opposed to Saturday. Does that work in your favor at all, or really not much?
A little, from my time in the Big East, playing on Saturday and turning around and playing on a Thursday, or having shorter weeks, it's difficult. But considering it was Sunday and not a Monday, not
and
a
they
Monday,
didn't have to travel very far.
It's not a lot of travel, and they got some rest on Saturday. It wasn't a late thing. It's an advantage for us a little bit, and in game planning sense, advantage for us a little bit as well, because while they're playing on Sunday, we're sitting there looking at their previous week's film. So they're a little bit behind us, but they do have the home field advantage, and it's going to be a good game.
They're a team that lost to Monmouth the first week of the season, 52-21, then losing to Delaware 27-9. Monmouth rushed for 311 yards against them. Delaware rushed for 278 yards against them. Obviously, if you're Darius Victor, you look at those numbers and you think this could be a good day.
It could be, but statistics are only as good as the game. After the one game's over, they really don't matter much. And they've played on the road twice. They haven't played at home once, and I'm sure they're excited to be at home. And most teams play a lot better at home. So what I have seen is them not play very well against a very good Monmouth team, and play much better as a team against a very good Delaware team. So they made great improvements from week 1 to week 2, and I'm sure we're going to have our hands full when we go up to Delaware.
One thing Coach Holmes' teams are known for is being disciplined. Last year they led the MEAC in fewest penalties per game. Through 2 games this year, they've only made 3 penalties. Committed 3 penalties.
It's a sign of a well-coached football team, that they're able to keep, especially in games where they're getting beat. And you would normally see frustration and discipline slide away. And no, the guy does a great job in getting those kids to do what he needs them to do. And that's a pretty impressive statement, because that league is usually a pretty good league when it comes to some of that stuff. I'm impressed with him as a coach and what he's done in his time there.
Their top wide receiver, Milton Williams, he's averaging 21.1 yards a catch, has a 77-yarder. He's somebody that has to keep Coach Hackman up at nights.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, he was a headache a year ago, and he has been a headache knowing that we were going to play them again. Now, he's a really, really impressive guy, like another guy who's going to have a chance to play at the next level. So we've been working on schemes to contain him and keep him from busting the game open, and that's part of it. He's going to make his plays. He's too good not to, but we need to keep him from totally breaking the game wide open.
Then they also have Aris Scott, who returned a kickoff, 98 yards for a touchdown, so special teams are going to have to be on their game.
On the whole, team speed, they're as good as anybody we play. They really are, from top to bottom. They have guys that are sub-11 flat 100-meter guys, and multiple guys that can run that fast. So we're going to have to be very technically sound in everything we do, and we're going to have to be physical, which is one of our trademarks.
So the Tigers taking on Delaware State, 2 o'clock on Saturday afternoon up in Dover. And you've got 2 games in a row against MEAC schools, and then CAA games start up when you play Maine at home. And this week, a road game, but then you've got 3 in a row at Johnny Unitas Stadium. So if you look at it, if you can get this victory on the road, you now have 3 at home. So this really is an important ball game.
I appreciate the fact that you're looking well past this game, because somebody has to. I'm focused on this one totally and completely, but that makes a lot of sense. And that for where we want to do, for the goals that we have as a team and a program, winning's obviously key. And we handed one away in week 1, and we were overmatched in week 2. I'll admit that, and it's frustrating, but I'll admit it. But we need to get back on track. We're hungry for a win. But I'm not even going to look at the quarter or the half of the game. We're hungry for a win, and we got to do it play by play.
Well, the Tigers will do it play-by-play in Dover on Saturday. You also look at your team, and a guy that hasn't really broken out yet, Spencer Wilkins, coming off an injury from last year. Is Spencer having a tough time getting back involved? Or because sometimes you see that when a guy misses some time, it takes a while for him to get back into the swing of things.
Spencer's worked incredibly hard on his body, rehabbing and trying to return to his healthy status, at least as healthy as he can be. And he hasn't been 100% yet. but he's fighting, and he's got a little bit of the, I know I'm a senior, I missed half of last season being injured, I want to do it so badly, and sometimes he's trying too hard. You know, that there was a drop against Central that, you know, he's caught in his sleep a million times, and it was a big third down conversion. It was a nothing ball, it was 5 yards, and one that he would have caught, got hit, fell down, first down, we'd have kept going. But it's the little things like that, the rhythm of it, and his body's not the same. You know, it was a broken ankle. He's recovered, there were pins in it, he's working to get better, but his body's just not the same. And until he gets his complete health back, he's a little rusty.
Well, hopefully Saturday will be a big one for Spencer Wilkins and the rest of the Tiger offense. We have to take one final break, but we will be back with more of the Tiger Football Report right after this.
Virtual Wallet can help you be that person who's good with money. See what's free to spend, move money with a slide, save with a shake. Feel good about your decisions.
You'll find it on the sidewalks of Little Italy and on the porches in Catonsville. You can see it when friends meet in Mount Vernon. It's pride. Pride in our city, pride in our people. That's why MedStar Health is building the most accessible healthcare system in the region to look after everyone from Lutherville to Locust Point. So no matter where you go, no matter who you are, you're never far from MedStar.
White Market's ice cream plant is based in Sunbury, Pennsylvania, and locally owned and operated. We've been making our ice cream for nearly 50 years. We create roughly 70 flavors of ice cream right now. We use local ingredients, especially our cream, which is from our milk plant. The cream is what gives our ice cream a rich and creamy texture. Now, together with our customers, we've created a product called Peanut Butter Indulgence, which will be coming out this summer. It's a peanut butter ice cream with sea salt caramel swirl and chocolate-covered pretzel. How could you go wrong with that? Personally, I love our ice cream. If you come to our house at any given time, you'll find at least 5 packets of ice cream in our freezer. Our kids grew up eating Wise quality ice cream, and now we get to treat our grandchildren to it. It's been a pleasure for me to be tasting ice cream for over 40 years for Wise Markets, and I'm loving every minute of it.
This is where the legends live, waiting for someone with better innovation. From the brand that reinvented the t-shirt comes the Under Armour Speedform Apollo. This is our rocket ship.
Welcome back to the Tiger Football Report. Coach, thanks for stopping by, and good luck against the Delaware State Hornets, and we'll talk to you again next week.
Thanks, Bill. Appreciate that.
As we have mentioned, the Tigers return to the road this Saturday when they battle the Delaware State Hornets in Dover, Delaware. If you can't make the trip to Dover, that's okay, because we'll have the game for you right here, live and for free on the Towson Sports Network, with coverage starting at 1:30 and then at 1:45 on CBS Radio 1300 AM. That's going to do it for this edition of the Tiger Football Report. I'm Spiro Marikas. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk again real soon.